What's up, you guys? I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Today's video is going to be all about me being vegetarian, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about some pros, some cons, how it was turning vegetarian and what I found to be easy and hard, and I'm just going to talk about it a little bit in case you are curious or are deciding to go vegetarian. I hope that I can help you with some questions today, and let's get on to this video. So I have now been vegetarian for 2 years now. It was originally, it's kind of funny, I had never planned to turn vegetarian. It was honestly a bet with my mom. So she bet that I couldn't eat meat for a week because before I turned vegetarian, I loved meat. Like, salami was like my favorite meat in the entire world. I'm gonna be drinking my tea through the whole video because it is extremely cold today. And so I went the whole week without eating meat, and I felt so incredibly good after not eating meat that I decided to carry that on. I'm gonna talk you guys a little bit about how I switched my diet. So I actually quit meat cold turkey. Like, I watched a couple of videos like now and watched some, like, I've read a couple articles saying that if you're gonna turn vegetarian, do it gradually. The same as if you were gonna start eating meat again, do it gradually because your body, it changes a lot. I mean, I've been eating meat, well, not now, but like I had been eating meat for like, oh my goodness, 14? No, not 14 years. Let's just say a good 12 years. That's a long time to just cut it off cold turkey. So at the time when I did that, I didn't know anything. I had not looked anything up. I didn't look at other sources of protein. Like, I had some ideas, but honestly, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. So pretty much what I assumed anyways is that vegetarians only eat fruits and vegetables. So I have been a health nut probably since grade 9. I eat extremely healthy, and at the time I was eating like really healthy. So I wasn't eating a ton of fat, which isn't healthy. Like, back in grade 9, that's what I thought was healthy, even though it's not. So all I was eating, honestly, like honest to goodness, was fruits and vegetables. I was not eating bread, I wasn't eating pasta, no sugar, it was kind of crazy. So during that time, I was playing rugby and volleyball. So honestly, I lost weight very quickly because I hadn't educated myself. And although not eating meat, like, it's a big jump, but it's not like incredibly big, I was just eating fruits and vegetables. So they do not have a lot of calories in them. And especially because I was playing rugby, which is a very high intensity sport, I lost weight extremely quickly. So I was in grade 9 when I turned vegetarian, and I'm now in grade 11. But that year was like the end of the year. I had lost a lot of weight. So the summer following, I kind of did my research, and I started looking into it more and understanding why I was losing weight. And it wasn't because I was turning vegetarian, it was just because I was eating the wrong foods. So good. So cold in here. Anyways, so other than that, so that summer I really started researching about, and I was watching YouTube videos because I love YouTube, about what I should be eating and the proteins that I'm missing out on and other vitamins and stuff that are in meat and the fats that are in meat that I could be missing out on, that is either making me lose weight or maybe I was doing too much exercise at the time. So I was kind of balancing between what was kind of happening with my body. But honestly, it wasn't until the middle of grade 10 probably, maybe like the start of grade 10, where I actually started to gain more weight. So I was starting to, because I was looking more into things, I started eating a lot more protein. And I hate this stereotype, or like the stigma, I guess you could say, that the only question I ever got when I turned vegetarian at the start was, how are you gonna get your protein? And now that I think about it, and now that I've kind of looked into it, that's not the most important thing about not eating meat. Like, what about vitamin B12? Like, I didn't even know what that was, honestly, when I first turned vegetarian. And it wasn't until I actually went to my doctor just to get a checkup and, you know, see what was happening, because I did lose so much weight, that she said my vitamin B12 could be low. If you guys don't know what that is, simply put, it's a B vitamin that helps form your red blood cells, so carry oxygen within your body. And she said that it is quite common between vegans and vegetarians who aren't eating meat to have a low blood cell count. And that can also cause anemia, which is just a lack in red blood cells. But so I got a couple tests, and not saying that anyone needs to do this, but I did get a couple of tests because I had lost so much weight, and that just cleared that I was fine, and a little bit about that. So I want to talk a little bit about the supplements that I do take, and it only kind of started after I went to the doctor's because, like I said, I did not research anything at the start, and she said, you know, you could be low in this or this, so maybe take some supplements for that. So I'm going to show you a little bit after the ones that I do take. And moving on to like the food side of things and more foods that I'm eating now, foods that are high in protein, I'm going to kind of go through that a little bit. And then what else am I going to go through? I think I'm going to show you guys my vitamins that I take, and then I'm going to go through like some pros and cons. So getting your protein in is honestly not hard, although so I'm vegetarian, but like vegan, I have no idea because I could not be vegan. But for me myself, the thing that actually really helped me was the app MyFitnessPal. I'm sure you guys have heard of a variation of MyFitnessPal. Pretty much what it is it's just an app that you can download on your phone. You can add all the foods that you eat in a day, and it will calculate your carbs, your fats, your proteins, like all the macros. You can get like your vegetables, your like calcium, iron, so all of your vitamins as well. So what I did is I downloaded that app because I wanted to see how much protein I was eating in a day without consciously trying to eat more to know that I was tracking. So I just tracked like a normal day of me eating, and it was like, I think it was 80 grams of protein, and that was that was just me, like a normal day of food. And honestly, I think you need a minimum, I want to say it's like 60 grams of protein a day. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. So I was pretty happy with like 80 grams, like unconsciously doing it. So after I did that, I found that so helpful just to realize what I was eating, anything I was lacking out on, because it counts your vitamins as well. So if you are like newly vegetarian, or you're kind of like through the ropes and you're kind of curious on, you know, how much protein you're getting or how much vitamins you're getting, I would really recommend that app. It's free. It's super easy to use. You can like scan your foods, and it will just go right into that and calculate everything for you. Other foods that's specifically talking about protein, I really truly love the company called Yves. So it's like YVES, and it's a fully vegan company. I think it's at every grocery store. I know I live right by No Frills. No Frills has a whole vegetarian vegan section. Farm Boy has it, Freshco, Zehrs. Honestly, I think every grocery store has like a vegan vegetarian section, and they have a whole bunch of products. My favorite are the veggie ground, which is just like ground beef. They have veggie ham, they have bacon, sausages, pepperoni, they have burgers, falafels. Like they have a whole bunch of stuff. And it's honestly, it tastes so good. The only thing that I don't like is for hot dogs, but I don't even like normal hot dogs. So it is so easy to honestly get meat that doesn't contain meat. It's not a hard thing to find anymore, because I feel like it's just such a common kind of like diet, I guess. I don't think vegetarian's a diet, but I don't know what else. A lifestyle. It's more of a common lifestyle for people to not eat meat these days, I feel like. Along with Yves, so that's technically, those are like the meat products, but there's also like, vegetables do have protein. It's very minimal, like it's not like it's gonna be like 20 grams of protein, but you can still get like legumes. If you get like lentils, those are really high in protein. They are high in carb and a little high in calorie, but I mean, you kind of gotta, if you're gonna be vegetarian, you also need to know the foods that you're gonna need to have. So legumes are really good. You can get chickpeas, any kind of bean is high in protein, and it is super cheap. I usually get like the big bags of chickpeas. I think they're, I don't know how much they are, maybe $8, and that lasts me like 4 months or more. And I think I have them like almost every day of the week, just because it is such an easy source of protein. You can get tofu, there's cheese, there's milk if you drink that. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about my personal, what I eat, and a little bit about my, just like my day-to-day meals, because everyone varies. So, you know, I might have, let's just say 110 grams of protein a day, but that doesn't mean that every vegetarian's gonna have that, because everybody eats differently. So I kind of want to tell you guys a little bit about that because I am a health nerd. That's what I like to call myself. And it just varied. So the reason that it was hard for me to upgrade that is because I was pretty much eating every food that I liked. So I'm not a picky eater, but I'm picky on the foods that I eat for reasons of, I can't even explain it. So like cheese, for instance. I don't eat cheese, and it's honestly because I'm not a big fan of it. Like, I'll eat Parmesan cheese or light cream cheese, and that's it. I'm not a fan of brick cheese. And about 3 years ago, I stopped drinking milk, and that was just because almond milk, so I drink almond milk, and that was like the big craze. It was like, drink almond milk, it's healthier than milk. Yeah, it's low in protein, but it's low in calories, and low in sugar, low in carb, and I was like, okay, let's try this out. And ever since then, so that's been like 3 years, I've been drinking almond milk. So milk is another, I want to say it's like 9 grams of protein per cup. So I don't drink that. I don't have dairy that much. I do have yogurt, but it's not high protein yogurt, although Greek yogurt is a great source of protein. I actually have a really good, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but the yogurt bread, super easy recipe, high in protein. Greek yogurt, like non-sugar added, is super high in protein, very good, and I love it. Oh, it is so cold. Like, as much as I love Canada and that, it goes from like one extreme to the other. Like, I feel like it was just 3 weeks ago and I was in shorts, and now it's freezing. Like, I got my slippers on, so cozy. But so I'm gonna talk about some other things that I don't eat. So I don't eat cheese, I don't drink milk. What else? I love nuts. Nuts are so good, and they're so good for you. That's another easy protein. It is high in fat, so you really do have to be kind of conscious about how much you eat, because literally I think the rule of thumb is like your palm of your hand is like a serving. So you can't just, I could easily eat a whole bag of peanuts. Like, I just get like ones like this, and then they're just shelled. Oh my god, I could eat, I say I could eat a whole bag, but I'd probably eat like a quarter of it and be like, oh, I feel like poop. Anyways, that's an easy source of protein. Tofu. Tofu kind of has a bad rep because I feel like when most people have it, it's like squishy, not cooked right. But if you like pan sear it with some coconut oil, put some little spices on it, it's so delicious. It's really, really good. I really recommend that. You can actually make like tofu sandwiches, like chicken, or tofu is really good as a chicken substitute in Caesar salad if you really like that. Because I know myself, when like I said, all I was eating was fruits and vegetables. So sometimes I would crave Caesar salad, but I'd be like, well, if I was to have like a Greek salad, it's probably better for you. But then I was like craving it, so I put tofu in there and I just like pan seared it. Oh, it is so much like chicken. You have no idea. Like, being vegetarian is not hard. It's not hard at all, and I don't miss meat in the least. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, it's the best eating style out there, because everybody is so different, and I don't think that eating meat is bad. Like, it's not. Everybody's different, and everybody's body craves different things. So I don't think there's any one way to eat. As long as you are eating your fruits and vegetables and you're eating healthy, that's good. Like, but you need to have balance as well. Like, you can't just eat chicken and broccoli every single day. Let's talk about the pros first. So when I first turned vegetarian, I had so much energy, and I think that's truly the reason why I carried this on and why I'm still vegetarian, is because my energy levels were so high. And for me, I play 3 sports a year. And when I have more energy, first of all, I like to have really good grades. So having more energy would make me want to study more. And I honestly performed my best in rugby. Being vegetarian, I think I was a better player. That's just me speaking. I mean, that could have just been in my head because I was like, oh my god, vegetarian's awesome. But I think that is honestly true. Also, I was so happy. Like, I felt, and I don't know if it's because I was technically eating healthier or just because I just made a change to my diet, but I'm always happy. And before I turned vegetarian, like I was happy as well. But like I'm like always zoom in, I'm always positive, and I love it so much. And I truly think it is because of my lifestyle change. I don't want to call vegetarian a diet because I don't really think it is. But just that lifestyle change, it made me feel so good, and I love it. So one of them is, okay, this one's going to be a little bit weird. But when you change from okay, this is going to vary for everyone. But let's just say you decide to turn vegetarian, and before you did, you weren't eating lots of fruits and vegetables, and you're eating lots of meat, and then you cut meat cold turkey and start eating tons of fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables are filled with fiber, and I found myself, because I was only pretty much eating that, my stomach hurt so bad. And I don't know if it was a mix between having so much fiber and not eating meat, or if it was just because I was eating so many fruits and vegetables at one time. I had like gas bubbles in my stomach. I felt so bad at times and so uncomfortable. But I mean, think of it, like if I have a diet of like beans and tofu and veggie ground and vegetables and fruit, I mean, kind of got to understand like there's going to be some changes. So that I was honestly kind of uncomfortable in my stomach, like just because like I had so much fiber in my stomach. So like you can be gassy and stuff, but like obviously that's gonna happen just because you are changing things up. But after about a couple of weeks, I started feeling good and everything was fine. It was obviously just getting my body used to the new lifestyle change. Being healthy and being vegetarian can be hard, especially when you're going out to restaurants. So not necessarily at home, but when you go to restaurants, I find a lot of the vegetarian options aren't necessarily healthy. So personally myself, I don't eat a lot of pasta or pizza or anything like that, and it's super easy to get like vegetarian pasta or vegetarian pizza or stuff like that. So it can be harder to eat healthy out, but it's not impossible. And I feel like restaurants are so good these days, and every restaurant has a vegetarian or even vegan option, plus gluten-free or dairy-free. And it's awesome. So that's just kind of like an inconvenience. If you are trying to eat healthy and go out to eat, it can be hard to find those options, because I find a lot of health foods are like chicken Caesar salad, but it would be like a light chicken Caesar salad because it obviously like it's gonna be chicken. Like I feel like all health foods have chicken in it. That's just me. Okay, my last con before I finish this video is that being vegetarian can be very expensive. So there are certain certain foods that can be expensive, especially the Yves company. Most products are like $5 a piece, which isn't too expensive, but when you're thinking of the quantity that you're getting, it can be expensive for some people. I know myself, it's kind of crazy. But it's nothing to final note. I just want to say that being vegetarian was the best decision that I've made, because I feel so fantastic. And oh my god, I forgot to talk about protein powder. Wow. Okay. Really quickly before I do my outro, I do have protein powder. Now protein, the one that I have is whey protein, so it's not vegan, and I tried a vegan protein powder once. It was disgusting, like disgusting. I would never have it again. And it wasn't like a fruit flavored. It was a pea protein, but there's no flavor to it. It was disgusting. Like it was terrible. I don't even want to think about it. It was so gross. Anyways, I do use protein powder, and I have it maybe once a day. Maybe. It's not something I live off of. When I first kind of realized, I was like, oh my god, I have to have like 2 scoops a day. But it's not the case. 1 scoop I'll add into like pancake batter, oatmeal. I'll add it to, if I have some like puffed wheat cereal, I'll add it to that. And it's super easy to give some flavor. But other than that, that's pretty much the protein sources that I have, you know? I have legumes, beans, tofu, I'll have Yves products, peanuts. Peanuts are my favorite. I'll have nuts, stuff like that, but it is not a challenge to get your protein. And if that is your worry, I would be more concerned. Oh my God, I forgot to show you my vitamins. I've been so mumble jumbled today. It's a PD day and I've been grinding on schoolwork and it's like 3:30 right now and I'm just rushing through this. It's gonna cool it down. Cool it down. So I'm gonna quickly show you the vitamins that I take. So some of these were actually, some of these my doctor actually said to take. So I did get a blood test done just to see if I had anemia. When was that? That was a while ago. It was like 6 months ago. So she just said that I should get some B12. And then after I got my blood test done, they actually told me my B12 is too high because I have it in my multivitamin and my B12. So anyways, so this is my little, this is my little vitamin container. It's got like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, the whole week. So in here, I take a fish oil. At the time before I was eating fish. So yeah, I've been eating fish for about 1.5 years now. Like every once in a while, I have some sushi. So before I was doing that, I was just having seaweed oil, which has the same omega-3s as fish oil. So I have fish oil, which is good for your heart. I have just multivitamin, vitamin D for, especially now because it is going to be winter soon and the sun isn't always out. So vitamin D just makes me really happy. Then I have biotin, which is good for your hair, skin, and nails. And I have vitamin B12. Got some B12. So vitamin B12 just to help with the function of my red blood cells and the creation of them. And that is about it. So this video was honestly pretty straightforward. I didn't have any like special tips or anything, just because it's not like a science thing. It's just eating the right foods, like just making sure you're getting your fruits, your vegetables. I would recommend, again, get MyFitnessPal if you are starting off vegetarian, just to see your standpoint where you may need to alter or add in some foods or maybe take out some foods, stuff like that. Super simple. But if you guys do have any questions on like foods that I eat, like some of the vegetarian meals that I'll make, like my zucchini pasta I've had on my Instagram a few times, just comment in the description box. That's funny. Just comment and I will comment back to you, or you can DM me on Instagram, anything like that. Don't hesitate to ask because I do not care about answering questions. I love answering